Hello everyone, welcome back, and this is gonna be my first video in a very long time on this channel. And in this video, I'm more so just going to talk about my classical journey, my experiences, and in my opinion, why I think classical chess is the hardest variant of chess, and why it's so hard to improve at it. I'll be showing you my wins, my losses, my games from my recent tournament, which I haven't uploaded for 6 months because I got busy with life, but I'll be uploading and I'll just be telling you how my 2 rounds went. I couldn't play the third, fourth, and fifth round because I had my exams, and it's not good to play chess during your exams. Not like it did much to help my grades, but still. Anyhow, I wanted to show you just how my first classical games went, what my thought process was, and the mistakes I make, so maybe others won't make the same ones I do. And maybe, just maybe, I'll learn something as I make this video. It's not like I really script these things anyway, so let's go. So my first round opponent for, I think, what was it, the Chessium version 2.0, I got paired against a 2200, which, oh sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. As I said, I don't really make these tutorials, and as you can see, the outcome of the result, my 2200 opponent completely outclassed me, 2100. And I had black. Whenever pairing against an opponent who's literally over 300, 400 points high rated, then you just know you're screwed. So it's often a good time to just test just how much you can keep up with them. And the answer in this game was not very long. I could not keep up with them at all. So before this game, I had actually saw his previous games and realized he plays e4 a lot. And so essentially, at that point, I'm now switching more to the French, but back in that time, I used to play Sicilian. And, you know, I never really liked e5. I don't really like this e5 move. I just feel like it's too drawish, and for some reason, it's just weird. Like, I don't know why, I just don't have good mental experiences with e5. I'm just kind of bad with it. So I decided that for the game I did a little bit of research, and I figured that I liked one opening where I figured we get a pretty even position, pretty tactical, like not tactical, but like pretty maneuvering, a battle kind of position. But I thought that, like, if I can get this kind of position, I'll be fine. So let's see what happens. E4, I played my Sicilian, which is what I normally played at that time. Nowadays I switched to French, but you know, repertoires change. Knight f3. I played knight c6, which is the Magnus Carlsen Sicilian. At that time, like, I didn't really know that, but I just kind of, I knew it was the Magnus Carlsen Sicilian, but I just figured, like, I was just so uncomfortable playing d6 for some reason. So I was just playing this. He played bishop b5, which I had seen from his online games he was gonna play, and so I prepared this setup with g6. c3, which I knew he was gonna play, bishop g7, and here I had expected him to go d4. This is what I had essentially prepared, and my preparation went here, queen a5 check, knight c6, knight f3, and get this like Grunfeld-like structure where white can't really commit any of his pawns forward. And if anything, like, I know the engine gives slight advantage to white if white plays queen a4, but like, with all due respect, I don't know why he would play this. It just felt off-putting. And more importantly than just this, like, whole variation with d4, I just kind of figured that this bishop sniping would be like such a pain. So that was kind of my preparation. He went castles, I went knight f6, and he went queen e2, which was definitely not part of my prep. This is where my prep essentially ended, after queen e2. I castled, just getting my king to danger, nothing special. Bishop takes c6, d takes c6. I know the engine recommends b takes to take toward the center, but I had essentially prepared something here after d takes c6, which was that I was fully expecting him to go d4. I had essentially prepared this maneuver knight e8. No matter what he really played here, I was always going to go knight e8. The point of knight e8 was to reroute the knight to, as you will later find out, we will reroute this knight somewhere. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, this game is like 4 months old, I guess spoiled a lot of it. I think my plan was to rewrite the knight to the c7 square, where it would control a lot of squares like this. And I thought this knight was pretty good here, this typical knight reroute. Even if my bishop was blocked, I felt like this move was very just like obscure, and like it had these good practical problems eventually. It would pose like something for my opponent to think about. Of course, as I'd find out, my opponent did not think at all. He played rook d1, clearly setting up d4. I played e5 because I didn't want him to get d4 off immediately. If I can prevent d4, I might as well do it. The downside is that I blocked my own bishop, but respectfully my bishop was already blocked by the c3 pawn, so I saw no point and I just played e5, which is the best move, though I wouldn't really take the engine's considerations too seriously. He played best move, again, d3. The guy's playing some kind of engine. I played bishop d7, which is not a good move. It's not. Like, I don't know what I was thinking with bishop d7. Like, I know what I was thinking. It's just like, it was a stupid thinking. I was just, oh, I want to move my bishop. And I don't want to play bishop d3 because I'll get hit with knight g4 and I'll have to move my bishop again. And I'll have to move it to d2 anyway. And like, if I play bishop f4, I just lose a bishop. If bishop g5, lose a bishop. So I play bishop d2. But in my opinion, a far better move here was b6. Far better. And the point is, like, yeah, white can just like develop and like, okay, h4. I'll simply play bishop a3, bishop b2. Both work, to be fair with you. I don't really see any problem. Bishop b2. Yeah, both work. Bishop b7. I apologize. Bishop a6 or bishop b7. Both work completely fine. And as far as I'm concerned, this is like just normal chess. My knight will reroute to the c7 square, and it's just a playable position, which is what I should have done. But I didn't do that. I played bishop d7. And my opponent played bishop d3. Now I go b6, but now b6 is stupid because your bishop is not here. You already moved this here. And now my opponent played d4. C takes d4, e takes d4, e takes d4, bishop takes d4. And here I went queen c8. And queen c8 is such a bad move. Like, I don't even know. Like, in my head, I was like, I want to eventually... Okay, play knight c3, as you saw. But in my head, I was like, if I can get my queen, along with like this knight, like from c7 to e6 to like, I'm just thinking like multiple moves ahead, e7, d7, and maybe to f5, I could have some very decent chances. The problem is this takes multiple moves, and sometimes if a plan takes multiple moves, it's best just not to even bother. And like, I never played knight c7, never. Like, if I had played knight c7, like instead of like you know, like bishop d7, if I had just played knight c7 here, like, I spent like over a minute, but like, brother, you can just play knight c7 here and it's just natural. There's nothing wrong with knight c7 here. Then maybe it still would be a bad move, but queen c8 might be then a bit more justified with the knight on c7, because at least then I have an extra move to go d7 and f5. I have an extra move now. So like, maybe you can argue, by the sake of nothing but just pure delusion, you could argue that, okay, you might have something. But my knight is literally here. So going here, here, here takes 3 moves. And that is just terrible planning. Again, this is like my first serious classical game, like one I'm taking seriously. And I'm just thinking like, this is just not the right mental space to be in. Like playing a 2200, practically trying, you know, to keep the tension, trying to force something out of him. He played knight c3, as you saw, and now I play knight c7. Again, so ill-timed. You could have done all this without like this bishop d7. This bishop d7 really started my problems. I really didn't like this move now. Looking back on it, it's a terrible move. And it just only further amplified my problems. Because now he took. And when he took, I actually thought he made a mistake. Because I was like, okay, I take back. And I just thought he don't have anything. But he doesn't need to have anything, because you'll soon realize he completely clamped down my position. Knight e5, the bishop is attacked, but more importantly, the c3 pawn is attacked, which is the detail I missed. I just thought, oh, well, I can just play like however I want. I can just like maybe even sacrifice because his king now has no defense. Maybe I can force him into a draw or something. Again, pure delusion. Pure delusion. I am playing off nothing but pure delusion. And as such, I got punished. Rook bishop e8. Again, I wanted to keep this bishop. For what reason, I cannot explain to you. Like, why the actual stupidity are you keeping this bishop? This is your worst piece. But like, my logic was so stupid. It was just like, oh, I want to keep bishop because that might create more chances in the game. There is no chance for you with this damn bishop, bro. Get rid of it. If you have to sacrifice a pawn to get rid of this bishop, then sacrifice a pawn to get rid of this bishop. I don't know why I didn't play rook f8. Like, it's such bogus maneuvering. Like, idiotic keeping this bishop. Rook d6, again, just accurately punishing me, suffocating me. As soon as you played rook d8, I realized, shit, I'm actually screwed now. I go c5 to protect the pawn. I don't think this is that much of an axe. The position's just trash already. Rook f d8, and now you can just see, like, white is just bringing every piece to just get ready to massacre me. And I played knight e6. I like knight e6. It's like a good move. At least I was like, if he gives me one move, then maybe I can start pushing back and like trying to create something on my own. But of course, he's never going to allow that. He plays queen e3. And queen e3 had actually a very sneaky threat, which I completely missed. It's something to do with this 8-7 square. I want you to keep an eye on the square. Watch how this knight, which looks like it's going to target this, completely reroutes. I played knight d4. Knight d4 with the intention to disconnect the rooks. And I was like, oh, well, maybe now if I play queen b8, it's like some kind of attack. But here he finds not the only move, but the best move and the way to kill the game off on the spot. Knight to g4. And knight g4 sets up an unstoppable threat of queen h3. And there is nothing I can do to stop that. As soon as he played knight g4, like on the surface I was like, maybe I can defend. But as soon as I played rook h8, I realized there is no defense. Like rook h8 essentially was like, I was delusional. Essentially I forgot that I thought I could run my king like this. But what I forgot is that queen h6, like this also covers this square. Like an absolute delusional idiot. I blundered that, and as soon as I realized that, I could have resigned, but I let him checkmate me. King g8 and knight g6, knight f6 mate. My opponent used 5 minutes of his time. That tells you all you need to know. My opponent used 5 minutes. I used literally half. The quality on display by my opponent was utterly ridiculous. He was ridiculous this game. This was brilliant stuff from my opponent. And me, what this bishop was doing here, only God knows. Only God knows. I don't know. The delusion to keep this bishop was my biggest mistake. I should have traded it off, especially here, here. Here, I should have just gone here and should have realized that after this, rook d8, there is nothing bad in black's position. Black is completely fine. I would welcome this position. More than welcome it. Because my bishop is so bad. So why would white ever trade this glorious knight for this terrible bishop? If anything, honestly, like, I would even give up this pawn. Like this pawn here, right here, if we were to trade the bishop off. Because at least then, I can now play with more activity and with more pieces. I'd even give up a pawn if it meant white would take my bishop. That's just how bad this bishop was, but I in my delusion, I could not realize this, and I just ended up getting smoked. Yeah, this was round 1. And after this, I was really demoralized. I analyzed with my opponent, and he was obviously a great sport, a great person, obviously. Afterwards, you know, we were discussing attacking ideas and like just how I obviously missed just how strong white's position was and massively overestimated how good my bishop would end up becoming, which obviously I didn't even have time for the bishop to be anything but a nuisance. It was a nuisance. Let's just call it what it was. This bishop was a nuisance. This wasn't my favorite game. But then round 2 arrived, and I got paired against I think a 1600 named Sofa King. And oh well, I already spoiled the game. Wow. Yeah, as you can see, I ended up winning this game. But the conclusion to this game was anything if but straightforward. This proved to me I am not 1500, I am not 1700. I am barely 1500, and if that, I'm like by luck. Because he absolutely schooled me in this game on how to defend a bad position and how to take your moments. So I researched him for the game, and I realized that first off, he does pretty terribly under time pressure. I noticed that immediately. I was like, if I get him on time pressure, he's going to blunder something because he's really good when he has time. Like, give him 90 minutes, he would have smoked me this game. 90 minute 30-second bonus, he would have absolutely destroyed me. Like, no questions asked, he would have killed me this game with 90 minutes 30-second bonus. But give him like a minute, 2 minutes, even with like 20-second bonus, he'll struggle to come up with a move. His mind is like too like on like calculating and like true like he doesn't play intuitive chess that much. So I figured if I can get him low on time, he struggled. And one thing I also noticed he struggled was with queenside majorities. He massively struggled in the 2 games I checked, which were both rapid games. He struggled massively against like I know he plays the Karo Khan, but I noticed that he plays it very badly when a queenside majority. Both games where he had a queenside majority, both games he lost, and it was because of that queenside majority, whether it was trapping a piece or eventually promoting one of those pawns into a queen. So I knew this like queenside majority, which I've studied from my opponents, is going to give him nightmares. He's gonna have PTSD from this. So I already was like, yeah, I got this. I already know what to play, and I already knew what he was gonna play. So let's see. E4, C6, D4, D5, Knight C3, takes, Bishop F5, Knight G3, Bishop G6. Obviously, this is all just theory. Knight C3, Knight D7 is like something I came up with on the spot. I kind of liked it, to be honest. I thought it was a cool little sideline. Bishop D3, Knight C6, castles, E3, Bishop G5, Bishop G2. This is all from my opponent, by the way. My opponent is playing big. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. You know what? Like, oh my god, flipboard. So from my perspective, because I just get confused. I thought I played Knight E2, but like I forgot. I think I played something similar to this, maybe in another game, but like I'm just confusing them all. So again, Bishop F4, Knight G3. This is all theory. I don't memorize this. So I offered a trade. He refused. I castled. E6. Bishop G5. I wanted to be as aggressive as possible. I wanted him to put as much pressure on him as possible early on. He played Bishop G2. I played C3, just solidifying the structure and preparing a future plan, as you'll see. Bishop takes D3, Queen takes D3, short castles, and H4. Sorry, not H4, A4. And my plan is simple, B4. As I said, he struggles with these queen-side advances. He cannot handle them. He has consistently, this has continuously given him nightmares. And I knew it would give him a nightmare in this game too. So after A4, Rook E8, B4. As I said, queenside majority. Even if it will do nothing right now, it will do something in the future. And to his credit, he responds the best way. So clearly he learned something. He played A5 immediately. And I immediately played B5. And even though it's like a little better practically engine-like for black, it forces him to make a decision quickly. And you'll notice suddenly he's down on time already. He's down on time and I haven't barely thought. Because this is already prep. Up till 14 moves, this was all preparation. I already knew that there was a chance he'd play this, and I was like, okay, we'll play like this. His best move here is c5, but he wasn't, I guess, used to such a confrontational game. Maybe he wanted to keep things a little more balanced, so he played Queen B6. And here I just go all guns blazing, I go c4. I go c4 immediately. I want him to feel the heat. I want him to understand that I am not going to relent. I am going to continue attacking you. And once again, the only way to meet fire is with fire. And to be fair, now he does it. He plays c5. A very well timed move in my opinion. And obviously I can take, but I don't want to take. You see, if I take, I allow him access to try to get some of these pawns. And this queenside advantage I knew is going to cause him nightmares. Again, I'm playing half psychologically too. So I don't want to. Even if I have to play a suboptimal move, if it means I can keep my queenside, I'll do it. So I play Bishop E3. And so if, again, he plays Rook F88 and Rook FD1. Again, I'm just keeping the tension. Knight G4. And here, I'm very proud of this move H3. Because at the time I was very proud. But it actually turns out it's a mistake. And what I had thought was that if this, which is what happens in the game, F takes E3, we're just going to transpose. I thought this position is better for white. And the reason I thought is because if he takes, we're going to get this same exact C4 plan I'm going to mention about. He's going to have to deal with this queen side. And if he wants to generate any kind of attack on the king, forget about it. It's too slow. So I was just like, he's going to have to go confrontational, which is not really his style. And he, like, his pieces are just sort of like hanging around here. But like, I can just do so much with like this massive queenside majority. And clearly he thought the same thing, because he did not exactly like this position either. Even though this loose knight on g3 can kind of be a target, like in the future, like if he plays like something like queen d3 and like tries to target this knight, I think that would actually be a decent move. Was it a good move? Not quite. I can go knight e4 immediately, but maybe in the future if a piece can come to e3. But it's so difficult. Apparently the best move here, which was c takes d4, e takes d4, and immediately striking. Again, he finds these like striking movements just a little bit too late. Like he had c5 a move ago, but now he has e5 in this position, which is what he needed to see. I probably would have gone c4, and then here he can sacrifice, which is brutal because I cannot take. If c5, then obviously it just all blows apart. So again, like something knight e4 had to be played. Then maybe after this, knight e4 again will just run into this move, and like bishop takes, and like, yeah, this is becoming really bad, as you can see. But he didn't do that. None of us like saw just how like useful this knight could be. So he played bishop f6, which again maybe trying to put pressure like this. But again, I came up with this very nice idea, knight h4. And what's funny is I could even take here, but then after knight takes h4 I would just lose everything. My point was I'm attacking the queen, but then just this, and after this you lose a rook, which obviously is not in your plans. And then game I saw that, so I was like, after knight h4, and he took, which I thought was a mistake. I was like, okay, I thought this was a mistake, because this knight I felt was very loose. I didn't like the positioning of this knight at all. Okay, sorry, I'm going to close one of the tabs that the games I've already analyzed. So I was like, if I can force his bishop to go back, and then maybe expand, or even take, or maybe play some maneuvering move like queen e2, I thought I had a very pleasant position. Even if Engine's like, it's minus 0.7, what the hell are you talking about, you're utterly useless. He plays c takes d4, and I immediately just snap took. But one thing you're noticing, again, is time. 26 minutes for me, 20 for him. I'm constantly keeping up on time. He takes, after c takes d4, he took a long thing. He took a long thing and he found the best move. Again, he has very promising potential as a chess player. e5. He thought for like 2 minutes and he found e5. And I don't remember where in a critical moment. I played c5 almost immediately because I already figured this was my plan. And again, as you're noticing, the queen side majority, this weak a6 pawn, and I really felt he's gonna have to solve some problems here. Is he gonna be able to do it? Especially when as the time gets lower. We'll find out. Queen c7, best move. Queen c3. I was considering playing b3 and doing this, and then queen c3. For some reason, I didn't like this. I don't know what I didn't like. In hindsight, now it just looks clearly better. But maybe like after c4 here, like yeah, but because this I realized he had this intermezzo. And again, this queen c3 was not a good move. It was not a good move. But he played knight e4. And this is where things started getting crazy. I played queen d1, which is a complete blunder. And I thought I'm attacking the knight. I'm protecting like from any infiltrations, especially like any kind that go in. And like I was like, I'm happy with this move. But little did I know, e takes e4 wins a pawn. It wins a pawn. I blundered my pawn. After e takes e4, rook takes e4, I forgot that my c pawn is no longer supported. But in my mind, I thought this is okay, because I can take, and take this pawn. And I'm like, I'm okay. The detail I missed in this variation is I cannot move my rook, because it is pinned. And as soon as I realized this, I actually started laughing. I was like, wow, I'm going to lose this game. I'm going to lose to a 1500. That's seriously what I thought. I was like, damn. Like, GG. Like, I just missed that. Like, wow. And after this, I was like on the ropes. But I was like, you know what? He has 11 minutes. This is the one key advantage. He has 11 minutes. And I know he doesn't do well under time pressure. So the only thing I can do is keep the tension and try to maybe like force a mistake out of him. And I do that exactly that. Rook fd1, keeping pieces. Again, the best move, something like knight e3 or even knight c3. Personally, I like knight c3 a lot more. Here the engine's saying I have to sack my queen, which is crazy, but I do get it. To get this endgame, where if you take its mate, that's actually kind of brutal and kind of crazy, honestly. But he didn't. He simply snapped took because he was up a pawn, so he was obviously like... And I think in his mind, he thought that being up a pawn, it meant that, okay, that if we trade pieces, maybe it was a bit of an amateurish kind of thinking. If we trade pieces, it ends up okay. Like, I'm up a pawn, I can comfortably win this endgame. But this endgame is not that easy because it's a 3-on-2 on this side, where none of your pawns have moved. And not to mention, your queen side is looking rather vulnerable. So this one pawn, I felt, was like, yeah, it's a pawn, fair enough, but are you really going to be able to defend this? Are you really going to make sure your queen side doesn't collapse? And I just overwhelmed you with this queen side majority. Again, you've had trouble with it in the past. Will you have trouble with it in this game? Spoiler alert, yes. Rook takes d4 and he played knight c3 immediately. Like, again, knight e3 in my opinion, maybe it's that like he can get back to the queen side in time, which is the conclusion me and him drew from this move. But knight f6 is simply on the wrong square. You should not be aiming for the king side when there's nothing here. And I simply took on a4, and now we're back to equal material. And not only are we back to equal material, but like it looks rather comfortable for white. White has Su's mailing. h6 is what my opponent played, not to get back ranked. King h2. I didn't want any problems with this rook or this queen coming in. So I was like, king h2, just immediately get out. He has no checks immediately, so we're safe. Queen f5. He's dipped now below 4 minutes. Clearly for me, he's panicking. Like, not off the basis of like a few moves, but after queen takes h4, after this, knight f6 was clearly wrong. And I think he spent so long on queen f4 because he couldn't find a plan. He couldn't find anything. So I think he played queen f4 almost out of desperation, even if it is a good move. I like it though. It's like something, but I think it took so long to find that now the rest of this game is going to be a nightmare. And I immediately infiltrate. I'm like, nah. I want to win your b7 pawn, and I want to go h6, h7, h8, h8 queens. Simple. Just push the a pawn, make a queen. That's all I want. And my question to him is simple. How are you going to stop this? It looks pretty hard to defend, and he doesn't stop it the right way. Especially with 4 minutes, I can't blame him. He plays rook fc8, maybe trying to get another piece in, but there's nothing here. And I immediately take on b7, and I'm like, okay, my pawns are faster. He's supposed to play king h2 here. But again, he goes rook c1. Again, he's trying to mate me. And I play rook d8 check, and I sense I'm winning. And I blunder. I play rook f back to d4 because I want to control. But I'm like, I don't see how I stop this. And for a long time, actually, I actually calculated queen b8. And queen a8. And queen b8 is the best move because it stops this, which I missed. That's what I missed. I thought he could just check me to oblivion. Because the move I calculated was queen a8, which loses. Because I realized after queen c4, I have to get g3, give up, not my knight. Rook g2 check first. King g2 would just lead to mate, so I can't move my king. I had to go knight e2. And here I just evaluated this. This is uncomfortable for white. This is just horrible. So in my panic, I realized that, oh shit, I sensed this position was winning. I sensed it. But I couldn't see the knockout blow. What was queen b8 different? I just thought the same thing, but I forgot this covers the square. So I played rook d4 back, covering, giving him time to do this. Now I push my pawn. Now I'm just like, okay, I want to push this pawn and make a queen. Screw this pawn, I don't want it. I just want to make a queen and destroy you here. He plays rook c5 again. Maybe trying to target? And I played rook before defending. Again, I should have just pushed my pawn. Here, this, even a2. Okay, a2 is just a draw. So, now I'm just really bad today. But yeah, queen c7, my point is just simple. a7, a8, just make a queen and win. So I played rook before though, because I was like, I want to keep everything together. I want to keep this queen side in hand. I want to give him something to think about. Again, now he's down to a minute. And now I knew he'd start making suboptimal moves. But to be fair, I'm on 10 minutes, and unfortunately, in my panic, in such a chaotic position, I start making suboptimal moves too. Knight e4, a very nice move. I don't care the instances in accuracy. It's a brilliant move for me. A brilliant move. And I immediately blunder. Because, for me, I didn't realize how important protecting the square was. This is why queen b8 was so crucial, and what I could not realize. And he immediately just capitalizes. And like in my desperation to try to keep this queen side alive, to give something to think about, I just blunder here. And he goes queen f4, and I'm like, oh no, I'm losing. I played g3, and I forgot my knight. I just forgot this. You see, before this, I had essentially told myself the queen's protecting the knight, so you can never take the knight. But I forgot after knight d4, the knight blocks. So I just played g3 almost on instinct, and just blundered this. And now here I played a6, and I blundered mate in 6. So the minute on the clock. Can my opponent find it? No. It's still winning, but this was the knockout blow here. And essentially I had thought after h4, I thought that after b4, queen a8, king b4, I thought he had nothing. Just here, I run. I had missed this very nice mid queen takes c3. I missed this, and if I go here, he has this, and ladder mate. Mate in 6, which he could have found. He could have found this. But in his desperation to address my threat, he completely forgot his own, just infiltrate on the back rank. And he plays queen a3, and I immediately just go rook c7. Immediately. Because in my mind, I realize I'm losing. I'm like, shit, my king looks too vulnerable right now. But he plays queen a4. Again, desperation. Panic mode now. See, as I said, he doesn't do well with time. He doesn't do well with time at all. He's an absolute, I don't want to say scrub, because he's not. But he's just too reactionary. He's too reactionary to other people's threats. He almost doesn't believe in himself at all, in his own ideas, in his own threats, and just focuses on arresting others. If he had just found rook a8, game over. Game over, because the rest of the sequence is not that hard to find. It's really not. Just giving check, 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 and mate. In that mate in 6 sequence. But he just completely overlooked this. And when he overlooked it, now, all of a sudden, I'm allowed back in the game. And he's just now all focused on defending, which is not easy. It's very easy when you have a clear plan. But when you don't have a clear plan, it becomes much harder. I just play a7 here. Take this pawn. Take this pawn, it doesn't matter. Because you know what? There's a chance I can even sacrifice. There's a chance I can even sacrifice and claim this is better for me. It's not. But the fact that this is even a consideration here. Yeah, right here I gotta just make a queen. And you're gonna have to defend this endgame. And respectfully, this is not defendable. So a7, he plays knight c7, desperately trying to block this. But he blunders b6, which he must have thought he had rook b6. And that, oh, if I take this and okay, I can defend this. Maybe it's what he's calculated in the limited time that he had. Rook b5, but I just took queen takes c7. He forgot I could take with the queen instead of the knight. And after this, queen a5, again, trying not to play this, trying to prevent me from playing this move. He stops one threat, but he completely misses the other queen b8, and now nothing to stop this move. You can play here, I'm just gonna queen, and I'm gonna beat you. And so after this move, an absolute crazy game. The graph is showing chaos all over. Literally he had mate at one point. It looked over, but somehow from the depths of hell, I managed to climb to 1 out of 2 with this game. And in all honesty, it was not deserved. This was not a good game. This was a disastrous game from start to finish. Chaos all over, completely missing our resources and just focusing on our opponents. In my opinion, if you ask me what the best play of my game was, not here. The best play of my game came from this whole sequence. Not here, here. From here onwards, this is my only chance. This is the only time where I felt like I could have killed him. Just queen b8, threaten this, and I thought after king b6, he just has knight h4. And I just missed that queen f4 is like not possible because I just take. This is completely winning for white. This is my one chance where I could have won the game, and I didn't punish him. And as such, he punished me and put me through hell, but just couldn't finish it off. This were my only 2 games from the tournament, the chess gym, because I left for exams, as you know. But for me, classical chess is just so exhausting. Like, seeing these games even, I'm tired. Like, God, like, what, like, it just felt ridiculous sometimes playing these games. This game went on for, like, how long was it? Almost 45 moves. 45 moves of just pure calculation, which we both just messed up completely. But just insanity, and, like, we both somehow just managed to get to this end. And how I even won this game, I will never know. How I won, I will never understand. Because I did not deserve to win this game, but I somehow pulled it off. Chaos. I was left with like 10 minutes on the clock, and he was left with like 20-30 seconds just trying to scramble by. And it's really only because of good time management and time pressure I won. But now we're actually going to look at some games which I got played like a few months later, just like more recent, just to show you how brutal classical chess can be. And in this game I'm playing, what was it? Yeah, this game I lost. 1867. Played around a month ago. E4 is what happens, and at this point I've switched over to the French. And I like the French. I've been learning some new ideas from courses I've been studying. And I really like this French. I think it's really useful, and I really like what some of the courses have said me. So I've been playing this a lot more. But this game, man, this game really hurt. D4, D5, knight C3, takes, knight C3, knight B3, which is a move I had never seen before. The only move I had seen was this. Up to this point, after knight F3. I don't know about H6. Like, I've played knight F6 here, bishop G5, queen B4, bishop D3, C5. Like, admittedly, F5 is a bit like too much. I'd probably play queen F4 here in classical, queen H5 here. But none of that happens. Just play knight E3. I go knight F3 instead of C5. Maybe just focusing on development. He plays C6, bishop E2. All of us, every move is an inaccuracy, as you can see. But like, okay, we castle, and like we start playing relatively normal moves, like rook E8, knight E4, and here I just blunder on the spot to a Greek gift sacrifice. Sorry. Bishop takes A7. This queen H5 here, just queen takes F7. Like, not quite Greek gift, but you get the point. And I just blunder it, and he blunders it back because he doesn't see it either. And what's crazy is that he spends 7 minutes. 7 minutes on this move. And he just completely misses it well. But like, it's a completely common tactic, which I'm not sure what he missed. Maybe he missed it after king F8. But then you just get in. Like, I don't know what else to say except you're cooking me. You know, like, it's like that meme with like Maui, you know, in the Moana movie. What can I say except you're welcome? Well, here, what can I say except I'm lost? I'm just lost. And he missed it after thinking for 7 minutes. And in my delusion, I thought for a minute and just played this too. Again, it's not as winning now because bishop h2 is just king h2, which would hang this, which obviously my delusional brain did not calculate at all. Maybe my delusional brain thought king f1. But then this comes anyway with this brutal move. So yeah, this queen infiltration, we both just missed it early on. Again, this is a very bad game. He plays a6, and again, we blundered this idea for like 10 moves. Bishop d6, this looks like something straight out guess the elo. He tries to get rid of my bishop. We both think we're playing positional attacking savant. No, positional attacking, positional savant chess. We're like trying to be Magnus Carlsen, but we're just thinking the place up. This is absolutely terrible. f5, I finally like, oh yeah, I need to close this diagonal now. Thinking I'm some kind of genius, and I should have done this like 10 moves ago. He takes, and after queen f3, I start thinking of delusions. Again, my thinking like classical is I'm just delusional, and I think I have something because I'm just so used to like my attacks working in rapid. But in classical, you almost have to be like picture perfect, and I'm not. I'm the opposite of perfect. I'm like as delusional as you can become. Rook 88, and I'm just gonna speedrun this game. King 88, I don't consider it a mistake. Like, I know here, but he just starts striking at the center. And this move I played, and I was like, oh, he's just gonna take back. which admittedly he could do, and he's better, but he played this very nice move, bishop takes, and after queen b6, I missed this fork. I missed that his queen is defending. And so I play here. Again, notice how I'm spending so little time and I'm just in a dead lost position. Yeah, from here on out, he's just cooking me. But then he starts to get in some mischievous situations. First and foremost, he doesn't take this pawn. Why he doesn't take this pawn, I will never understand. It's completely winning for him. Like, worst case scenario, knight f6, queen d6, queen b3, c5, and it just succeeds to f5, and I'm dead. So why he didn't take this pawn? He literally bishop f6, maybe trying to like end the game immediately with some blow, but there's no blow here. I just take d takes c4, knight h4. I play king b8 because I'm a little afraid of this. So like I'm like, I don't want to get into that situation. I play king g8. And he goes knight g6 anyway, which I was like, I'm not too sure about. And I play bishop c8. My plan with bishop c8 was this. To try to, you know, win a piece. He plays the best move. I play d4 and I was like, I know that the engine says this is the best move. But I was like, I think this is a mistake because of d4. How exactly are you going to defend? And he plays knight e7 check. And I play king f8, which is just losing. To queen h5. Which I did not understand. I just thought this, knight f8 would blunder this. Which I did not see at all in the game. But even like without knight f8, I'm like, sorry, like my mouse just seemingly vanished. And I think it will continue to. So I don't have queen b8. I just thought if you take, it's equal. But apparently he has this very nice move, bishop takes b7. And after this, he forcefully pries my queen of its defense. Very nice move order. Really nice. But he played knight takes e7. Sorry, he played queen e2. Retreating, and that's all I need. It was +6, but he retreats. And this just goes to show you how fake engine evals can be. Like, it was +6. You would think that white could do anything and win, but one retreating move and all of a sudden it's back to equality. I immediately played knight takes e7, and after bishop b4, I can save the game. But in my mind, I thought I had blundered here. I thought the position was losing. I thought, oh my god, I was like, oh my god, here, oh my god, I'm winning. He played bishop 4, I'm like, oh no, I'm lost. I'm lost. Because if I play, like what I played in the game, bishop e6, it loses. But my logic was if knight e6, f4, and I'm just lost. Because if I move my knight anywhere, it's just going to take here with this triple pin and I lose. What I missed was the critical detail knight f5, blocking this pin. And now, there is no attack on this knight. This knight can move freely. And after bishop takes, pawn takes, queen d2, knight takes f4. Admittedly, it's like a draw after this, but like, it's a draw, right? But the tragedy is I did not see knight here, knight e5. I didn't miss I could play knight f5. I saw this move. I just thought it didn't matter. I just thought the eval was like +6 no matter what. So I just played bishop e6 and lost. And even here, I can play this, but rook f8 I saw. And I was just like, I can't believe I threw it away. I take here. And in the end, the rest of this game is just white converting this flawlessly. It's as simple as. I try creating some like little outside chance, but there's no chances here. And after g4, I just simply resigned. I have to admit, this is a very bad game. This is a game like of absolute disaster. But to think like classical chess is so brutal. Because it's not like I missed the move. I missed the follow-up, which was knight f5. Had I just played this move by accident even, and he would have played f4, I could have played knight f5 and been like, oh my god, I'm surviving. I could have been like, oh my god, I'm actually surviving somehow. But like, just completely undeserved. And I deserve to lose this game, so fair enough, but to my opponent. But yeah, I mean, unquestionably, this is a very bad game by me. And my opponent deserved the win, so fair play, but to think you could just save the game if you just look one move deeper. And that's all it takes, guys, sometimes. Just one move. One move is all it takes. And yeah, like this game, I had this brief moment where I could have saved it right here, and I didn't. And it cost me this game. But we're going to end on a high note. We're going to end on a really beautiful game I played. In my opinion, my best game ever. Against a 1700. It's 1800 almost actually. My best game, and it's honestly going to look, in my opinion, it's a beautiful game. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let you see it. In this game, I'm playing an 1800 almost, and the way this game was beautiful. My opponent starts with d4. I play d5 because now I'm actually learning some stuff with knight f6. But back in that time, like a month ago, I was still playing d5. I'm still changing my repertoire. He plays e4, which is a gambit. I accept c3, and I'm like, the best way to take is a mistake. Like I'm not gonna buy into it. Like, you can take it. But he started playing really obscure. He started playing bishop f4, trying to get his pieces out. Here apparently, like, I thought he could play like something like d5 even, but then I have like knight e4, and I'm not really sure what he's doing. So he plays c3, and immediately I go e5 to strike in the center immediately. He goes d5. I go knight d2. Apparently knight h4 was better, but it's fine. C takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, bishop g5, short castles, knight g3. These are all just opening moves. And here I find this very nice intermezzo, bishop f5 check. With the point being, after this, I can go here. I was really hoping he'd blunder that and give me an easy win, but he didn't. He played king h2 and bishop d2 back. And already in this position, I feel like I'm better. I'm like my pieces are more active. I can get my queen in eventually if this knight ever moves. My pieces look a lot more coordinated than his. I'm like, there's no winning blow yet, but I feel like my pieces are better placed. He plays queen e2. I simply bring my knight back, and he plays b5. And this is clearly his idea. His idea is to create some strategic attack on the queen side. And I play bishop d3, clearly setting up d5 check to win the knight. He plays king g2, avoiding that. I just castle, bringing my king to safety. He plays h4. Again, as I said, he's trying to, mobilize the queen side. But the best way to strike with an attack on the flank is the attack on the center. I remember this principle, and I play d5, trying to strike at his knight and open up my bishop. And he plays knight g5. Again, I don't know why he didn't play knight e4. Knight e4 looks kind of obvious to me. Like, I would have played it. Like, it seems decent. Not to go anywhere. Maybe just didn't see any future or long-term prospects, but it definitely seems like a decent move. But he plays knight g5, and for some reason I did not ask this knight what he was doing. Maybe because in my mind I didn't want to give my pawn advantage up. So instead I played the move knight e4, giving my pawn advantage up. Like this. Yeah. Which all happened. So yeah, real smart, man. You gave up your pawn advantage and you set up rook e8 now. Why couldn't you have done that like on this move? Like, seriously, why didn't you just play rook e8 and play simple chess? Maybe I was afraid this bishop and knight might team up, but you're gonna play h6 anyway. This knight's gonna go. This knight's almost trapped, actually. Actually, like, let's just do something. If this, doesn't h6 trap the knight? It does. Takes. The knight's trapped. So yeah, the knight was essentially trapped, but I didn't see that. I played my move, which was knight e5, which is much worse. But apparently the way my opponent dealt with it was incorrect. And now he plays bishop b6. And I play c6. And I had a really cool idea with c6, actually. My idea was that if you take on c6, which he did, my bishop is going to open up. And I saw this from a distance that these two bishops are going to be heroes in this game. And they're going to snipe white. And this queenside majority that white made is not going to do a damn thing. Because my attack on the king will just be detrimental. But clearly he didn't believe it. He was like, I don't believe you. Prove it. So I'm like, okay, you want me to prove it? You want me to prove how powerful this bishop pair can be? Bishop takes f6. Attack on the queen. Queen f4. And it's very clearly calculated. He clearly calculated something on f7. And he clearly was like, yeah, I think I have something here. Like, 3 pieces aimed at this f7 square. It looks really suspect. I played rook e7. Completely blundering. That I was like, he's right. But here a very brutal knockout blow, knight f6. With the point being, after g takes, I have queen b6 check. King h8, rook e8. Like, just sacrificing all my pieces. Like, for this absolutely monstrous position. I mean, something similar like this happens, but not yet. Not yet. So I played rook e7 defending. And again, he has bishop g5. But I thought if bishop g5, I have f3. What I missed was I hang my king. Like a dumbass, but yeah. Yeah, this game was definitely not perfect. He plays bishop b7. Again, we're both playing pretty bad. Again, this is the nature of 1800 classical. We both play pretty bad chess. I find a nice defensive move here, knight b6. Not like playing g6, weakening my king, but like I want to move my knight and simultaneously open up my bishop. And knight finds bishop g5. Now he finds it. But now I have f6. And the bishop that prevented f6 before now no longer prevents it. And he goes b5 now, striking. And here I find once again the best move. Queen b6 check. King h8. And here the fun begins. Here I play once again best move. I don't know if I activated like Stockfish for like these next few moves, but they were brutal. I noticed that his king, my rook, is just about to get in, and a rook and a queen should be able to mate a king. So you just need to have that intuition sometimes. Sometimes you just need to have like this feeling that my king is exposed. There's not many pieces around it defending. I can get something here. And so here, with my bishop attacked, I play bishop takes g2, check. And now he plays king takes g2. And I mean, oh my goodness, like I could take here, but no, we have to go for the king. Rook e2 check. And here he could block. He could block, admittedly, and keep the game going. But here I had something like even crazier, like knight f4 check. With the point being after bishop takes, you would lose to this, and after queen takes, just sacrificing. Like you're just down. Like you're not down material, but like you will be. I mean. So he plays king f3. He wants to make a run for it. And I could like, I saw that I wanted to play queen f3, but in my mind I was like, oh my god, that's covered. I can't do that. So I thought about like taking the bishop, but I'm like, oh my god, my rook hangs. So I decided to reinforce my rook. And my logic with this was that if I reinforce my rook, I'm not threatening this bishop. And like any check he gives me, right? Like I can just slice up to h8, which is exactly what he does. He just queen d5, I just step to h8. I'm like, I'm safe. My rook is defended, and I have one piece in the attack. I have 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4th piece, and potentially a 5th. Potentially. Not right away, but potentially. White's king has virtually no defense. He plays here bishop takes g6. And here he maybe might have calculated something like 8g, and like maybe like moving the bishop back, which I might have done, but I was feeling savage. I was feeling monstrous, and I played a monstrous move, rook e3. A brilliant move. A brilliant move. The point is that this bishop was the only thing guarding the e3 square. So if I play rook e3 and you take with my bishop, which is what he does, and I play queen takes e3, the queen and the rook like this are just too powerful. The queen, the bishop, they're not active defenders here. What white needs is not an attack. White needs a defense. Because black is just a move or two away from just getting mate, and he's just like trying to attack me. But he doesn't understand the situation, which is that I'm trying to attack him. And so this move, in my opinion, was beautiful. Very beautiful. So in my opinion, he should have been a bit more defensive. He was obviously, like, if this pawn was gone, then this would just be mate. So I do respect him for trying to go for the attack, but in a position like this, like, yeah, bishop e3 is a mandatory move. It's mandatory. And I know it gives up a bishop, but like, you have to give up something here, because black is just getting too many pieces in. Just too much. There's just too many threats, and like, sometimes in order to stop those threats, you might need to sacrifice material. But after this, he took, and here this mate into is beautiful. I gave a check. At first, I had actually considered playing rook g6, but that loses to this. But it doesn't actually, because I can still take here, and apparently it's winning. But I was like, oh my god, he can take this rook. I don't want to do that. I don't want to just give up more material. Well, he's already up 7 points. I don't want to risk it more. So I play queen g7 here, and I could play h takes e3 mate, which would be kind of disrespectful. But I played queen takes h3 mate. I wanted to win with with my opponent having most amount of material. You see, if I take this bishop, my opponent is down. I'm down 4 points of material, and he's mated. He's up 4 points of material and he's mated, is what I mean. But with this move, he's up 6 points of material. and he's mated. So overall, a pretty chaotic game. This game was also, again, 1800 chess is chaotic. It's very chaotic. And I think my opponent like spent like 12 minutes on this game. I spent like, what, 14. And yeah, 1800 chess is very chaotic. But I do think right now I'm a lot better. I'm a lot better than this level now. I play a lot more seriously now, classical. I play better games than this. I think so. At least I hope. I don't actively know, but I do think I play better than this. Yeah, these were just some games from classical, and overall it's tough. Classical is tough. It is not easy playing classical, I'll tell you that. You have to be cerebral in some of these games. You have to spot tactics from like crazy lines. Like sometimes even one mistake, as you saw in like the third game, where if I placed with my knight instead of the bishop, I had this very nice knight f5 or 4 move, like which blocked the bishop, and I was just not cerebral enough to spot it. I just thought I was lost and mentally defeated. I just played bishop e3 and lost. But yeah, some of these games, man, it can be fun, but it's definitely the most tanking form of chess. And this proves, like, at the 1800 level, even at the 2000 level, because I've had games with 2000s too. Like I've had a game with 2200 once where I was winning with a tactic, and we got into this crazy, like, shuffle at the end, where he was winning all the way, but he had to work for it. Like, he was seriously having to find difficult moves, and I doubt even he'd admit it was easy. So you can still have, like, very competitive, very interesting games at the 2200 level. But, like, at the 1800 level, it's pure chaos, and I'm gonna try to, like, get above this level. I think I'm definitely above it now. I think if I played a classical game, I would at least be at 18... I won't say 1800, like, exactly, but I'd definitely be around that level. Almost 1800, 1820, I'd be there, I think. So yeah, that's my video for today. If you like it, please let me know. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I'll just see you all in the next one for more chess or just talking about life in general. See you.